Imagine this, you're in a meeting, you share an idea, and someone immediately cuts you off. No, that's completely wrong. A few people laugh. The room goes quiet. Everyone turns to look at you. At that moment, most people make the same mistake. They rush to defend themselves. They explain, they argue, they try to prove they're right, and in doing so, they lose something far more valuable than the argument. They lose respect. But then there's another type of person, someone who doesn't react, someone who doesn't get emotional, someone who simply pauses, looks at the other person, and calmly says, "Can you explain why you think that?" Suddenly the entire room changes, because the loud person had attention, but the calm person has control, and control is where respect comes from. This is why calm people are respected more than loud people. Not because they speak more, but because they know exactly when not to. The truth is that most people lose respect long before they lose an argument. They lose it the moment their emotions take over. Someone criticizes them, they become defensive. Someone questions them, they become reactive. Someone disagrees with them, they immediately start explaining themselves. And in doing so, they communicate something powerful without realizing it. They communicate that their emotional state depends on other people's opinions. Calm people communicate the opposite. They show that their peace is not available for manipulation, and people notice. Psychologists have long observed that human beings naturally associate emotional stability with competence. When someone remains composed under pressure, our brains assume they know something we don't. We assume they are confident, capable, reliable. This is one reason why leaders who remain calm during crises often gain enormous respect. Even when they don't have all the answers, their calmness itself becomes a signal. A signal that says, "I can handle this," and people are drawn to that energy. The first habit of highly respected people is simple. They pause before they speak. Most people react. Respected people respond. There is a difference. Reaction is automatic. Response is intentional. When someone asks a difficult question, many people rush to answer. They feel pressure. They feel uncomfortable silence. They feel the need to fill the space. But calm people understand something important. Silence is not weakness. Silence is thinking. A short pause communicates confidence. It tells people that you value your words enough to choose them carefully. And ironically, the less rushed your response becomes, the more weight it carries. The second habit is that calm people do not accept every emotional invitation. Every day, people invite you into conflict, into drama, into arguments, into outrage. Most invitations are disguised as questions, criticism, sarcasm, passive aggression. But calm people understand that not every invitation deserves acceptance. Someone says something provocative. Instead of immediately reacting, they observe. They ask themselves, what is actually happening here? This tiny pause changes everything, because many difficult conversations are lost before the first answer is even given. People become trapped inside emotional frames created by someone else. They start defending things they never believed, explaining things they never claimed, arguing points they never made, and before they realize it, they are fighting a battle that was designed for them. Calm people avoid this trap. They slow the conversation down. They clarify, they think, and because of that, they stay in control. The third habit is emotional precision. Loud people often confuse intensity with strength. They believe speaking louder makes them more convincing. They believe stronger emotions make stronger arguments. But psychology suggests something different. The more emotional someone becomes, the less objective they often appear. The audience stops focusing on the message and starts focusing on the emotion. This is why loud people often lose respect without realizing it. At first, loudness can look powerful. It grabs attention. It dominates the room. It forces people to listen. But attention and respect are not the same thing. A person who constantly raises their voice often communicates something they never intended to communicate: loss of control. Think about the last time you saw someone become visibly angry during a discussion. Maybe they interrupted. Maybe they started speaking faster. Maybe their voice became louder and louder. What happened? Did they suddenly appear wiser, or did they appear less in control? Most people instinctively trust the person who remains composed because emotional stability signals confidence. It suggests that a person does not need to force their point. They trust it enough to let it stand on its own. That is why true authority rarely needs volume. The strongest presence in the room is often the person who speaks the least but remains completely calm while everyone else loses control. Meanwhile, calm people create the opposite effect. Because their emotions are controlled, people focus entirely on their words. Their message becomes clearer. Their ideas become stronger. Their presence becomes more influential. This is why the calmest person in the room often becomes the most persuasive. Not because they dominate, but because they remain clear while everyone else becomes emotional. The fourth habit is refusing to prove themselves. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is to constantly seek validation. Many people spend their lives trying to convince others of their value, trying to prove their intelligence, trying to prove their success, trying to prove they deserve respect. But truly respected people rarely do this, because they understand something powerful. The more desperately you seek respect, the less respect you often receive. Respect cannot be demanded, it cannot be forced, it must be earned. And one of the fastest ways to earn it is to stop chasing it. Calm people don't need to win every conversation. They don't need the last word. They don't need everyone to agree with them. Their confidence comes from within, and that inner confidence creates outer authority. The fifth habit is listening carefully. Most people listen to reply. Calm people listen to understand. That difference is enormous. When someone feels genuinely heard, defenses often disappear. Walls come down, trust increases, influence grows. Ironically, one of the fastest ways to become respected is not by speaking better, it's by listening better. Because people rarely remember the smartest person in the room, but they often remember the person who made them feel understood. The sixth habit is maintaining composure under pressure. Anyone can remain calm when everything is easy. The real test comes when life becomes difficult, when someone attacks your character, when someone challenges your beliefs, when someone tries to embarrass you. That is when respect is truly earned, because everyone is watching, and your response reveals who you are. This doesn't mean becoming emotionless. It means becoming emotionally disciplined. You still feel anger. You still feel frustration. You still feel disappointment. But you choose your response instead of allowing those emotions to choose it for you. And that level of discipline is rare, which is exactly why people respect it. The final habit is understanding that respect begins internally. Many people spend years searching for respect from others, yet they constantly abandon their own standards. They betray their own values. They react impulsively. They seek approval, and then wonder why respect feels so difficult to obtain. But calm people understand that external respect is usually a reflection of internal respect. When you respect yourself enough to stay composed, others notice. When you respect yourself enough to avoid unnecessary conflict, others notice. When you respect yourself enough to protect your peace, others notice. And eventually they begin treating you differently, because your behavior teaches them how to treat you. There is another habit that separates respected people from everyone else. They understand the power of the pause. Most people feel uncomfortable with silence. When someone asks a difficult question, they rush to answer. When a conversation becomes tense, they speak immediately. When they feel challenged, they react before they think. But highly respected people do something different. They pause. Sometimes for 1 second, sometimes for 2, sometimes just long enough to think clearly. That small pause changes everything. It allows emotions to settle. It creates space for intelligence to take over. And surprisingly, it often increases the value of everything they say. People assume that quick answers signal intelligence, but thoughtful answers signal wisdom. The pause communicates confidence. It says, I don't need to rush. I don't need to panic. I am in control. And that feeling of control is one of the fastest ways to earn respect without ever demanding it. The truth is that calmness is often misunderstood. People think it means passivity, weakness, lack of confidence. But real calmness is none of those things. Real calmness is controlled power. It is strength without aggression. confidence without arrogance, authority without force, and in a world where most people react emotionally to everything, that kind of self-control becomes impossible to ignore. The next time someone tries to provoke you, the next time someone pressures you for an immediate response, the next time someone attempts to pull you into emotional chaos, pause. Because that pause may be the exact moment where respect is either lost or earned. And the people who understand that often become the most respected people in the room. Not because they are louder, but because they remain calm when everyone else loses control.